Hey everybody, it's Opinion Atheist, and today I'm coming at you with some bullshit. So if you haven't been living under a rock, you're probably aware of the North Carolina bathroom bill, which is also known as House Bill 2, the Public Facilities Privacy and Security Act. And it's fucking stupid. You may also be aware of the implications of the bill, stating that somebody has to use the bathroom that reflects their birth, sex, or birth assigned gender. Advocates of the bill state that they don't want people to be raped or sexually assaulted in the bathroom because we all know that males cannot control our sexual urges. It doesn't matter if you got lady parts now, you cannot control your sexual urges, and that homosexuals and transgenders and anybody in the LGBT community is just a bunch of fucking sexual perverts who will rape you as soon as spit on you. And they'll even use examples of transgender children like Coy Mathis, who is a male to female transgender young person. And they're saying, protect the children from these deviants and predators. We're going to make a law to keep them away. See, that's funny because you're predicating a law on saving children and shit. Why don't you make it a law where Catholic priests can't be alone with fucking choir boys, because we know there's been thousands and thousands of those kids be raped and molested by these wonderful pillars of society, but that shit's not effective. If you're gonna sit there and bullshit me, this is about protecting people, not about the fact that you feel fucking uncomfortable around something you don't understand. You need to go fornicate with a fucking metal cactus, and I hope it's fucking slow. You want to deny the DSM-5 that states that body dysmorphia, when it comes to being a transgender person, is a real thing. You want to deny that? You want to deny the science that says there are actual evidential markers when it comes to genetics, chromosomal pairs, XX, XY, even intersex. You want to deny the science that says that the transgender brain is wired differently than somebody who is cisgender. You want to sit there and deny that shit? That fucking makes sense to me, because you'll deny climate change, evolution, all that shit. So don't you fucking dare say this is not some religious bullshit, you fucks. I apologize for that. I got a little out of hand, and I will try to remain calm for the rest of this video. Some of the arguments I see from the other side, the opposition to this bill, I want to say that people like this and this, who are not their birth sex or gender, are going to be in the bathrooms like, you really want your man around this hot woman, or you really want your woman around this hot sculpted dude. And that is kind of a valid argument, but there's one other thing that I would like to say about it. Some people have what we would consider masculine features, like the jawline or the way that the nose and eyes are set, the musculature, body frame. And there are some people who have what we would consider feminine features, the softer body, the softer face. And when people like that begin to transition, you have the whole boy in a dress situation going on. And you know, without surgery, some of these people don't make a convincing example of the opposite sex. And you know, fuck it if they don't. I don't really care. If you feel like a woman and you were born as a man, go for it. If you feel like you're a man and you're born as a woman, hey man, who fucking knows? Do you. Be proud of yourself. The problem that I see arising is, this is the South. This is the South in America. They're not known for their tolerance. Hell, fuck, I live in the South. Texas is different from the rest of the South, but I digress. In a place that just passed a ban on anti-discrimination laws, if you have, say, a person who identifies as a woman but was born a male, and they have to go to the men's bathroom, they're going to get their asses kicked. They are going to be ostracized even more. They're going to be harassed. I promise. Because men can be jackasses sometimes. And I think, you know, I can't give you statistics or quotes on this, but generally when it comes to being a dick, men are more overt about it. On the flip side, if you have someone who identifies as a man but was born as a female going to the ladies' bathroom, you're going to see a lot of emphasis on shaming because that lady, who's not a lady anymore, doesn't look like a lady, doesn't act like a lady, she'll be a dyke and she'll be outcast, and who knows what all kinds of crazy shit people will say. I've never been in a ladies' bathroom. I'm not an expert on women, but I'm pretty damn sure that if you are a female to male transgender in a state like that, it's going to be rough. It's going to be really rough to actually assert your identity that you feel is actually the correct one. Some of the, I guess, neutral arguments that I've seen is, why don't you just build a bathroom for them themselves? Because they shouldn't fucking have to. They shouldn't have to have their own separate bathroom. Okay, so we've got male, and then female, and then, like, all you disgusting motherfuckers over here who don't conform to what we think is the correct thing. No, fuck that. They should have every right to use the bathroom that identifies with their gender choice. It's not this deviancy where you've got men dressing up as women so they can go look at women in the bathroom and do a bunch of crazy rape shit. And it's not women dressing up as men so they can go in there and just see if they can get some and if they can just experiment. If I'm in a bathroom and I'm around people whom I have not been intimate with and they know what my dick looks like, they can fuck off. But that's not what this shit is about. It's not about this sexual predatory impulse to go fuck a bunch of people and dress up and see if you can just tie in and go fucking be a wolf among the sheep. It's not what this shit is fucking about. I'm sorry. I lost my cool again. To all of you family values advocates, I have a piece of advice. If thinking about the transgender people coming into your bathroom upsets you, maybe you should stop thinking about whether the fact is if they have a penis or a vagina. Because if you're sitting there thinking about somebody's genitals a lot, that makes you a pervert. You know, anybody who says this isn't based on some kind of religious bias is completely full of shit. Absolutely 100%. Because you have all these verses in the Bible, oh, if a man lays with a man as he does with a woman, it's abomination and the blood should be on their hands and shit like that. You know, Romans chapter 1. The women have traded their lust for other women and it is condemnable. All that shit. This isn't a social issue solely. And I don't know what the Quran says on this because I don't remember from when I read it. But I'll tell you what you can do with those quotes and scriptures and pretty much your whole fucking book. If it bothers you so much, the next time you go to take a shit, use those pages as paper, because that's all they're good for. Am I saying there are no religious advocates for the LGBT community? Of course not. I'm sure there are. I'm not aware of any, but statistically there has to be a few. My question to those people would be, why would you follow this book that is so obviously against these people you ally with? What type of mental gymnastics do you have to perform to be okay with this? What is your justification and validation? Like, how much are you cherry picking? If this shit upsets you, raise your voice. Everybody has that. Everybody has that voice. And make a big enough stink about it, take it to the Supreme Court, get that shit overturned. We don't have to accept this shit as it is. That's what people fail to understand. Federal law supersedes this shit. And if you cause a big enough uproar, you can see it taken that far. Ally with the advocacy groups for the LGBT community and try to get an appeal and take it all the way up. Because they can overturn this. This is not permanence. And everybody, if you liked this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check me out on Twitter, @OpinionAtheist. I'm the Opinion Atheist. Reason beats bullshit every time.